Welcome to Sam Outside. I'm Sam, and well, I'm outside. I'm outside because it's good for me, and believe it or not, I'm helping to feed my archetype. That's right, what it is to be a man, what it is to be a positive contributor to society. All right, um, the archetype for a man. Let's break it down into well, 4 different types. All right, you can be the king. That's right, be the confident, capable leader. You can be the magician. That's right, charisma, the ability to inspire others, to be creative, right? And the archetype is you can be the lover, all right? Can you make connections? Can you build trust, right? Can you connect deeply? Allow others to feel safe in doing so, and have someone in your life, have others in your life that you can do the same with. And can you be a warrior, right? Can you defend yourself with your words, right? Can you have discipline? Can you have focus? So, yeah, I'll give you an example. I'm out here walking the dog, all right? How is that feeding the archetype? Well, first and foremost, let's focus on the dog, right? I take opportunities like this to reinforce his training, right? Get to be the alpha, the leader, otherwise he just doesn't listen, right? And being the leader to him, being the alpha in this pack of 2 is pretty important to our relationship, right? There is trust, right? That's built on a foundation of consistency, right? No surprises, nothing I'm going to do or say is supposed to shock him, right? Question our relationship. And just walking this dog out in nature, feed the magician. Well, yeah. I get to be creative as I ruminate in a positive way and connect with nature and notice things. And is it feeding the lover? Well, obviously I love that dog, but the fact that I'm walking the dog out in nature and I'm taking the time to do it helps my family so that they can do the things that they need to do with their day. So there's the connection there, but I'm doing it because he needs it for his health, physical, mental health, emotional health, keep him capable, add to his longevity. It's good for me because I love myself. And the warrior, yeah, the act of the discipline twice a day, every day. All right, and while I'm out here on the walk, I can change my stride. I can do things like walking backwards, engaging different muscle groups. I can choose terrain, right, to make it more challenging. But also there's that commitment and that discipline to it. So just find things in your day and ask yourself, is this feeding the archetype? And I'll be honest, and there's a reason I'm talking to you, because the act of doing this, recording my thoughts and experience, especially at this age of my life, I'm in a different place. I haven't always been here, but it's taken time, it's taken commitment, that I am comfortable acknowledging that I am the man, working toward the man I can be and should be for my family, for the people I work with, for the community, for myself, all right? And the reason I'm talking to you is because the act of going through this sharing on YouTube, a little bit of learning, yeah. And yeah, from time to time, I do take a look at the analytics. And based on what they're sharing with me is that a lot of my viewers are men between a certain age and a certain age. And then there are studies out there that share with us what most men today in society, and again, maybe this is a Western phenomenon, but I believe it's actually global, that we as a demographic are the most susceptible to depression. Suicide rates in men are the highest, especially in young men. We don't have in our society today the reinforcement, the acknowledgement of the male archetype, the positive, male archetype. We're just bombarded by it in social media, in the things we choose to entertain ourselves with, whether it's movies or this platform. Those are choices that we're making on what we choose and how much time we choose to spend on it. So if you're going to be spending time entertaining yourself in social media, are you contributing in a positive way to that? Are you doing it for yourself? You're doing it for others? You're doing it for your family? Right? So the thing that's lacking for young men who are literally alone, who feel alone, and that's their perception and that's their reality, leads to depression, is the outlet and the opportunity and that focus on being a man. We don't have the outlet that our forefathers did. We have no great war. Yep, there are active engagements all over this world, all over the planet, but for the people who are suffering depression, living in their basement with their parents, maybe employed, not so employed, the idea of doing what is society telling us, the expectation of a positive contributor to male society, owning a home, having a family, being capable, physically, mentally, emotionally. Well, when we start taking a look at that list, are we on it? Well, you're on it if you just change your script, right? Whatever you're doing, ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now allowing me to be the king? Am I being the magician, the artist? Am I being the lover? Am I being the warrior? Right? So when you flip the switch and you switch that negative talk to a positive, you find ways to justify your actions. And there is a healthy place and a space for that. So when I'm doing the dishes, am I being the king? Yeah. I'm showing my children that it's okay for the man in their life to take the time to free up space on the kitchen counter, to have discipline, to show that there is a safe way, right? Wash those knives separately. Just don't throw them into the soapy water and lose them and cut yourself. Don't take the risks, right? Doing the dishes. Am I being the magician? Yeah, because I get to share a little bit of myself, use my charisma, get to be at peace with myself. I get to be creative and efficient in the way that I plan and choose the time to do that, right? Am I being the lover? Yeah. If I do the dishes, other members of the family get to do the things that they want to do with their time. I care about them. It needs to be done, right? I do it because I love them. I do it because I love myself. And the idea and the stress of having those dishes sit there because it's a job anybody can do, but I'm too good to do it. No, that doesn't hold true. So, am I being the warrior? Well, yeah, it's not glorious, but there's a discipline and an appreciation for any task, no matter how menial, whether it's got a gender bias to it or not. And trust me, that thing exists, right? In my household, everybody does what everybody can because everybody should. Whether it's weeding the garden, paying the bills, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, sweeping the floors, going to buy the groceries, walking the dog, right? So when you're 3 hours in to a video game, making connections with someone across the planet, right? Using a pseudonym, knowing that they're doing the same. What is that connection? How deep is it? What part of your archetype are you feeling? yeah, there's a sense of accomplishment, but it's fleeting and doesn't really contribute. All right, if anything, that time spent, as much as it feels good and it's got purpose to you in the moment, right? There's a time and a place for it, but it's all about balance, right? Not serving your body to the best of its ability, right? Do that thing that brings you joy, but not at the cost, right? So feed your archetype. Find ways to be a king, to be a magician, to be a lover, to be a warrior, all right? Ask yourself that with every act, with every task that you are doing throughout your day. So that flipping the switch, changing that narrative, it's should be benefiting you physically, right? Should be something that should feel like work, because it is, right? Gives you purpose. And that purpose is right here, right? Be the king for yourself. Be your own king. Be the magician, be the artist for yourself, right? For you. Create art, do something charismatic, do something inspiring. Have wonder, inspire awe. Going out in nature is a big part of that, right? So much to observe, so much to appreciate, so much to share when you spend time in nature. And love yourself, right? Be that lover for yourself. Nothing else is capable to its fullest potential if you don't start there. And then be the warrior for yourself, right? Find a way to connect with your physical being, right? So I happen to have a profession where I am a leader. I've got people that I'm responsible for training, for resources, for time, for a salary, right? I want to be the best version of myself for that. So that can't just be at work, can't just be in the office or in the field. It's got to be in me so I can show up with that mindset, right? And what I do every day, the magician, wow, as a certified forest therapy guide, like, this is it, right? Get to inspire and show others that the magic is out there. We just have to let them peek behind the curtain and discover it for themselves. And in my everyday job, when I strike a flint and steel, get a fire going with just 2 random pieces of gear from my pocket, use a bow drill, build a shelter, when I can spot wildlife, when I find a salamander, right? Wow, that guy's amazing. He's a wizard. Yeah. It's just time served, time spent, sharing, inspiring. And I do get to be the lover, because what I do and how I do it is believable. That inspiration comes from my own energy. It's contagious, and trust me, kids can see right through that. If you don't believe it, they're going to tell. Hey, sometimes I have to tell my staff to, you got to fake it. Whatever you're going through, do it because you love what you do. You love the little people that you're doing it for and with. So, yeah, that's the mindset. And then be the warrior, right? Sometimes I have to do the hard things. And as an arborist, man, when I worked for a multinational company, being the certified arborist on the crew, yeah, I had to be that guy. Found myself doing the jobs that other employees said no to, right? So that's all right. Other people would show up to a job, say, nope, can't do it. Don't have the experience, don't have the confidence, don't have the skill. It's not safe. They call me in. And if I came in with that mindset, I figure out a way. Yeah, I can do that. It's going to take me more time, company might actually lose money on this job because it'll take me more time, and sales guy didn't manage that part of it. So yeah, I've had to slay a few dragons. And now that I do it on my own, man, I've got no ground crew. I've got no second. Something happens to me up in that tree, right? I'm all alone. So I pick and choose dragons, but yeah, I find myself taking the jobs and cutting down the trees, removing the trees, managing property when others said they couldn't do it. So I had to slay my fair share of dragons. Right? You're just taking this dog for a walk when it's -20. That's a dragon. Spending an hour out in the mosquitoes, right? Because no one else in my family can find that experience positive. That's a small dragon. We all have them. So it's how you approach that, right? The king knows there's a dragon in his kingdom. The magician knows that that dragon can be dealt with in more ways than one. Physical force, brute force might not be able the way to do it, right? Use your charisma, use your talents, use your voice, use your experience, use distraction, right? That's how you avoid a street fight. There's no winners in a fight, right? So a magician knows that. So walk away, right? Be proud of that, right? Every lover has someone they can't connect with, and that's okay, right? All of us have family members that we have to walk away from, right? At the cost of the energy and the time. As much as we love them because they're family, still toxic. That's a hard sell, but if it's saving yourself, love yourself first, right? And the warrior certainly has his dragons. This is the biggest dragon right there, right? Do the hard things, because the regret of doing the hard thing is very different than the regret doing nothing, right? So that's the biggest dragon right there. So this format that I'm choosing to share has told me that I've got a demographic, and that based on my views, some subjects are more popular than others. Because most of you are men between the age of and the age of. I title something mental health, my views drop. I talk about an animal and some tracks, some gear, my views go up. But that's okay. I'm doing this for me. And if I can create change in just one person, just invite one person over the lifeline, the likelihood of this video being watched in the next 10 minutes to 10 years. If I can connect with one person and share with them the power of flipping that switch, that's why I'm doing it. All right, so the archetype's there, male depression's there. Society doesn't help. The only person that's going to help is you. So help yourself so that you can better help others see that you are a positive, healthy contributor to society. That you've slain the dragons and you're ready for the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Right? Because all that rumination, it's a choice. How to flip the switch is not easy. Talk to someone. Listen to others. Get advice from people who are dragon slayers. All right. They're in your life. You go out and find them. Have that courage. All right. That's pretty heavy. Thanks for watching. All right. Find a way to be a good man. Be kind to yourself. All right. Do the work. Go outside. It's good for you. All right. Thanks for watching.